I went and faced the conference that day, and I learnt the most crucial lesson in the world of leadership from my leader. A leadership story from the life of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Let me refer to him as APJ throughout this video. It's year 1979. India, nowhere dominant in the world map, considered to be a poverty-stricken third world country. Somewhere in the August of 1979, India declares to the world that we are going to launch our indigenously built satellite launch vehicle. They called it Rohini. Now, on this fine morning at 6:30 in the morning, India is supposed to launch its first indigenously built space launch vehicle from a place called as Sriharikota. APJ says that he was the director of this particular project, and at 6:30 he was called to the control room. He goes to the control center. Everybody is with wide eyes open to see whether India could ever do this great feat. That's the time when he goes in and he checks everything, and everything seems to be okay. All his deserving engineers are just next to him and behind him, and it's 6.30 and he presses the launch button. The moment he presses the launch button, a reverse counting starts. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it displays error, error and error. That's the time when APJ looks at his engineers here and there, and they say that we have tested everything. The error says it's a fuel tank error, but we don't think that's an error. It's a computer system problem. Please put it in the manual mode and fire. It's all ready to go. APJ trusts his engineers. He puts the launch vehicle into the manual mode and presses the launch button, and boom, it goes. It goes up and up and up, and in the first stage, it sees success. And in the second stage, barely less than 20 minutes, this particular space launch vehicle, instead of going up, takes a curve and goes and lands into the Bay of Bengal. SLV Rohini failed. Now that's the time when perhaps the world was looking at India, and perhaps when many of them were rejoicing. The entire crew from the media world, they came and rushed to this spot in Sriharikota, and they said that we want an explanation from the country, from the director, how come such a poverty-stricken country could throw away so many millions of dollars in the Bay of Bengal. And that's the time when somebody comes to APJ and says, the conference room is waiting for you with around hundreds of media people to know why India has taken this crucial step when the country was dying in poverty. That's the time when APJ says that I had no communication skills perhaps. And he walks towards an aisle and is slowly entering towards that particular conference room, and somebody pats on his back. Who is that? It is the chairman of his organization ISRO, and that was none other than Captain Satish Dhawan. Captain Satish Dhawan looks at him and says, what happened? He says, I don't know, I have been called to the conference room. I think I don't have legs. I think I've lost my legs. I think I'm clueless. I don't have words to speak. And that's the time when Captain Satish Dhawan tells him, you move away. Let me take the conference. He goes inside with amazing confidence. And he tells the conference people, just stay silent. Yes, we have been working on this particular project for close to 8 to 10 years now. And let me tell you, we have failed. But let me also tell you that it is not that we are not capable of succeeding. The engineers are knowledgeable enough to take care of this failure. Please give us 1 year from now, and we will ensure that we relaunch the vehicle that will be once again made within India. No questions to be asked. I apologize on behalf of all my countrymen for this failure. Thank you very much. And he walks off from the conference room. APJ says that I've never seen a leader like this. In the next 1 hour, the leader calls all of these particular engineers and the top engineers and the director, including APJ, into the discussion room. And what they discussed that day was something that is non-explainable. There was a different face to Captain Satish Dhawan. Fast forward the story, not 1 year, but less than 11 months. India once again, he declares the news to the world that we are going to launch our SLV Rohini once again. And the world now looks with a gasping breath whether India will be able to do this. APJ continues mentioning in this story that fine day the situation was similar and the sequence of events were similar. He goes inside the control room, presses the launch button, 987654321, and boom, it launches. It launches, it goes up and up and up, and the phase 1 is done. And in the phase 2, they see that the launch vehicle is still moving upwards against the gravity, and somewhere post around 47 minutes or something like that, they cross the circle of influence of gravity and they escape through the velocity, and India launches its first indigenously made space launch vehicle into the orbit. One of the greatest achievements in the history of India, and from there I perhaps believe the growth path never saw a downward trend. But let me tell you the crucial message here. APJ says that he was again called to the conference room. And this time APJ was walking towards the conference room. And again, just outside the conference room stands who? Yes, you imagined it right. It is his leader, Captain Satish Dhawan. How do you feel? Asked Captain Satish Dhawan. He says, I'm feeling excited. And he tells Captain Satish Dhawan, please take charge of this conference. And that's the time when Satish Dhawan says, no, it's not me. It's you who will face the conference today. And APJ says that I went and faced the conference that day and I learned the most crucial lesson in the world of leadership from my leader, Captain Satish Dhawan. When failure occurred, Captain, the leader of the organization, his leader, owned the failure. And when success came, he gave it to his co-leader or his team. That's the quality of a great leader. And with this amazing story, I wish leaders learn this lesson here. At the time of a failure, a leader is the one who owns the failure, and a leader is the one who passes the success to his team.